Hashtag Stop Galamsey Now still on. Hello, good afternoon. This is the the midday news on Joy. The midday news is live on Joy 99.7 FM and Hits 103.9 FM in Accra. Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi and MyJoyOnline.com. We're also live on all 16 regions of Ghana, live on X Spaces and Facebook. The midday news is supported by Petrosol Platinum Energy, energizing dreams. Coming up, Vice Chancellors Ghana demand urgent dialogue to address what it says is the looming disruption to tertiary education calendar following delays in the release of the 2024 WASI results.
So what is the definite date of when the results will be released? We need to have some discussion. Universities must have some idea regarding when exactly the results will be released so that they can, reorganize themselves for the admission.
Well, international relations expert expresses concern over government's plan to make Ghana a visa-free destination, warning that while the initiative has its benefits, it also heightens security risks.
But as I said, there are security implications, and then also thinking about revenue loss to some of the embassies, since research are also part of getting revenue here and there.
We have more on this as some Ghanaians welcome the decision.
I think it's a good thing. In fact, this is long overdue. We should have had this many years back.
For me, I think it's fine because if you're in Africa and want to travel to Ghana, I don't think you should be going a lot of processes.
And from dreams to miracles, we hear from some mothers who delivered bouncing babies on Christmas Day.
I've been dreaming for me to give birth to a baby on the Christmas day. So I just planned it and it works out.
And
if you're ready for a good party, let me hear you say,
Yep, that's the Joy FM family party in the park at the Abreu Botanical Gardens.
This is my first time, but I was here last year. In fact, my kids were so excited, and that's what made it fun. And seeing new friends, like most of your classmates.
Only seeing the setup alone is wow, and it's a must for it to come.
We'll take you live to the grounds. These and more with me, Fred Smith. Joy News is your home of independent, fearless, and credible journalism. We start from education. Vice Chancellors Ghana, the Association of University Heads across the country, is calling for urgent dialogue to address what it believes is a looming disruption to the tertiary education calendar due to delays in the release of the 2024 WASI results. They warn that the delays could also impact the quality of education and students' finances. We'll hear from the Executive Secretary of the Vice Chancellors Ghana shortly. First, though, let's hear the Education Minister, Dr. Yao Osei Adichum's assurance when he visited WAEC this week.
In my various agencies, so this is not unusual. However, I came to apprise myself of developments in terms of the fact that they are working now through the holidays to get the results out on or before 29th of this month. So I came and I saw the workers scanning is being done, close to 50% is done. They assure me by the end of the day over 50% of scanning will be completed on or about 29th of this month. The results will come out. So I'm very satisfied.
But just yesterday, WAEC said it was struggling to meet the minister's timeline.
We are on the scanning of the objective answer cards. Unfortunately, the machines are not working at full throttle, so we are moving at a snail pace. In fact, as I speak, there are no staff at the office because the machines that we have fixed are really not working up to expectations. So we are really under pressure, if I could say so.
Well, did the minister know about this situation when he made a promise that by 29th the results will be out?
Well, when the tour was done, I wasn't here, but when I got to the office yesterday, my head of office indicated that they had shown him the amount of work that had been done. About 45% of the job has been done. We have 55% more to do. The scanners are not working at full throttle, and so we would be glad if they release further funds for us to be able to, buy the parts, fix the machines, so that we can have more machines scanning and the work can move on very fast. So this information, I am told, was made available to the minister.
And did you get the funds as you were requesting?
Unfortunately, as I speak with you, we haven't received any more funds apart from the 25 million we received on the 18th of December.
Well, where does this leave us? Will you be able to meet the 29th of December deadline? It's just 4 days to go.
Well, it's 4 days to go. We have indicated the challenges we have. If monies are made available for us to be able to get the machines fixed, we'll recall all staff. And then all hands on deck, we are sure we'll be able to meet that deadline. But for now, I doubt if we can make it. It's a very sensitive issue, so I want to be very careful what I say.
And that was John Kapi, Director of Public Affairs at WAIC, speaking to me yesterday. Well, we can hear now from the Executive Secretary of Vice Chancellors Ghana, Dr. Sena Peglo Freku, speaking to me this morning.
Most universities have planned for their first years to come in January, second, third week, and so on. If the results are not released on time, it means that the admission process itself will also delay. The admission process doesn't take a day or two to do. Granted that they will have the data and everything, and when the results are released, then they will try to assign students to the program and then have the admission process. Then the students will have to go to the bank, pay their fees coming. That also takes some processes. So by the time we are not even sure that the results will come in December because of the breakdown in their machines. And it means we are going into January. It means that first year students may not even be able to come in January because right now there is uncertainty regarding when the results will be released. So that means that the universities will have to keep pushing the academic calendars, forward and forward, and that holds implications for a lot of things.
What will be the implication as you mentioned?
Everything you can imagine. It means they have to re-strategize, replan the academic calendar for their first year. It's a 13-week calendar per semester. If the students come in February and school is supposed to vacate in the next 3 months or so, they will not have the full complement of the teaching and learning process. It means that once the universities are re-strategizing and restructuring, it holds financial implications as well. It holds financial implications for the parents. It holds financial implications for the students as well. Because parents will have to be looking for accommodation and all these things to be able to get their students their awards to stay in school. So it's a complex problem. It's a tedious one for the university. Constant restructuring and replanning is a major work in itself. And we know that the universities are, a number of them are quite exasperated at this point. But I'm sure that they will always find a way around it when the time comes.
What will Vice Chancellors Ghana recommend is done immediately to try and minimize the impact of this on students and the universities?
I think we need to have some discussions regarding the way forward. There must be some specificity on when the results will come out, and then the universities can replan, reorganize themselves. But this one, it will come on the 29th. Now it won't even come on the 29th because our machines are broken. So what is the definite date of when the results will be released? We need to have some discussion. Universities must have some idea regarding when exactly the results will be released so that they can, reorganize themselves for the admission process to occur. Now, I believe you know that continuing students are in school. And so the gap between the continuing students and the first year students shouldn't be that wide. It means that there will be no vacation, there will be no rest period for faculty because even when continuing students are vacating, first year students are continuing the process and so on. And that holds implications for quality.
You heard the Executive Secretary of Vice Chancellors Ghana, Dr. Sena Peglo Freku, speaking to me this morning. Now, spokesperson for former President John Ajum Kufuor Frank Ajum, says President Akufo-Addo is partly to blame for the party's loss in the 2024 general elections. The NDC's John Mahama defeated the NPP's Mahamadou Bawumia by over 1.6 million votes. According to Frank Ajum, public disenchantment with the party coupled with arrogance from some members drove many supporters away. He also cited the imposition of unpopular candidates on constituencies as a factor that contributed to the significant defeat at the polls, adding that these issues unfolded under President Akufo-Addo's leadership. He spoke on the AM show with Benjamin Akakpo.
So the signs have been coming, and the narration just tells us that things have been falling apart for a very long time, but then we have failed to heed to the signs and to do the right things, and that's what has led us to where we are today. Certainly, the buck always stops with the leader. I mean, you can't get away from that. When it's good, you take it, and when it's bad, you have to take it. So certainly, it stops with him, with the people as it is. I mean, yes, the head of state, Akufo-Addo, has his share of the blame for not ensuring that some of the things that were done must have been done properly. You said it right. It's because of the very, nature of the happenings in the MPP, where people are getting so disenchanted, and so many of them decided to say that, look, we are not going to vote. Many of them had agreed with Alan Chematen's stance that, look, one of the choice of candidates from the presidency to MPs is not the best. Yes, as the caller, the contributor said, there's arrogance, there's hardship in the system, and all this we're doing, and it appears those in power did not really recognize that very well. So that must have led to all that. So for the party's defeat.
Well, Vice President and the NPP's presidential candidate in that election, Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, recently attributed the party's electoral defeat to the NDC's dominance in key media institutions. However, Frank Ajum has refuted this claim, asserting instead that the flag bearer's campaign message failed to resonate with the electorate.
Vice President Bawumia did quite a lot. I mean, moving around.
He went to all the constituencies.
Yes, and he was there, and in the media space, I saw him more than anybody else, because the resources and the avenues he had behind him. I saw that if a count is made of adverts, of postings, of clippings, of whatever, both on both of social media and traditional media, you'd want to believe that Vice President Mahama had a lot more share than any
Vice President Bawumia, right?
I'm not in his shoes, but Vice President Bawumia, yes. I am not in his shoes and that of his committees. So I wouldn't know what aspects they've looked at to make them arrive at that conclusion that they did not have that media space. But I was a bit surprised, but I thought that, looking from the outside, he had a bit more media space than many, many others. Yeah. But it's for them to come and justify it. And but I thought that he did a good campaign, except that people were not buying into the message. That is it.
And you had Frank Ajum, spokesperson for former President John Ajum Kufuor there. Now, still on politics, the new Patriotic Party is opposing the proposal made by the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO, to rerun the parliamentary elections of disputed Ablikuma North and Dome Kwabenya results. Deputy General Secretary of the party, Haruna Mohammed, has been speaking to Joy News.
Yes, we've heard the suggestions that is made by CODEO with respect to the number of constituencies that are left. We have always dealt with precedents in this country. My friend Dr. Rashid will agree with me. In 2004, I happened to come from Zabuzugu, Tatale then, where coalition was cutted. There was disruption just as it has happened in this particular two instances. We never had the privilege to get all the documents together, but the EC proceeded and declared the NDC the winner for that particular election. That was in 2004. That had made me to forcefully introduce what we call the computer compilation of results. In fact, I sat down to design this compilation system, which was used in 2008, which has since helped us in terms of resource correlation. So the EC has done so before, but I don't know what materially effect that Kodeo is having, and they are calling for rerun of this particular two constituencies.
Well, the NDC is meanwhile pushing for the rerun. Dr. Computer Tanko is the Deputy Director of Elections and IT.
You know, our electoral system is a manual system. All along, I've been saying it time and again. We practice manual election in Ghana. We don't do digital election in Ghana. We don't vote electronic. We also don't do electronic transmission in Ghana. We do manual voting, manual collation of results, and manual declarations. And so everything that we do hinges on the pink sheet. The pink sheet is the primary source. So you must come with a carbon copy. And in fact, only 2 printing houses in Ghana have the capacity to print the pink sheet. And so if you bring it, if we are able to tell whether it's a fake one or not, it make it easier for us because we know the source and all that. And then the carbon copy, the way it is structured, verifying it physically, it's easier. But you cannot use digitized pink sheet to do any argument in any of our collation centers. We have never accepted it anywhere. From time immemorial, we always use the physical pink sheet.
I heard there Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer. He's Deputy Director of Elections and IT at the NDC. Now, international relations expert Ishmael Hlovo has expressed concerns over Ghana's move to become a visa-free destination, warning of heightened security risks despite its economic benefits. President Akufo-Addo on Wednesday, December 18, 2024, granted an executive approval for all African nationals without a visa to come into Ghana. The move makes Ghana one of 5 countries, including Rwanda, Seychelles, the Gambia, and Benin, as the only African countries offering visa-free entry to all African passport holders. Although the economic impact cannot be underestimated, international relations expert Dr. Ishmael Hlovo says the move also opens us up more to security risks. Well, he joins us on the line now for more on this. Thanks for joining us, Doc. How does this expose the country to security risks?
So, good afternoon to your listeners. So, as you waive the visa, you realize that the background checks that will be done before the visa is granted will no longer be done. So, all those background checks will now move to the Ghana Immigration Service, and the service have to do a lot of more of surveillance on people, cross-check their background before they are admitted into Ghana. So, in as much as it holds a very positive signal to Ghana as a leader in Pan-Africanism, as a leader that is paving the way for Africa to become more integrated, we need to scale up the immigration service, the ability to profile visitors to Ghana, the ability to identify those elements of the African population that will be arriving in Ghana that may pose some level of risk to the country. We need to beef up all those things to ensure that in as much as people visit Ghana, visa-free, they do not pose an additional risk to the country.
Well, how do we do this? How do we close the gaps to ensure that the risks are minimized?
So it's about improving the ability of the immigration service to keep surveillance. It's improving their ability to identify people who are arriving, do a thorough background checks on them. Technology is available, and how integrated the African continent will become in terms of identity across nations, so that when somebody is visiting Ghana, immediately you log on into the system, you may be able to get adequate information from wherever it's coming from concerning that person to be able to make a decision on admitting the person to Ghana or not. So yes, there is a lot of improvement in immigration technology that should help us to do that. And that also means that we should be able to close the very porous nature of our borders. That is improving the number of personnel that the immigration service have, improving the technology that they have, surveillance technology, drones and other kind of tools, and of course their ability to collaborate with other services across the continent to ensure that they can get reliable information about people visiting here.
Well, we know that our embassies are responsible for processing visas. How would this impact them?
So at least on their finances, they charge a little bit of fee in processing those visas. So that revenue may no longer come, and so that's part of it. So that may be the major impact it may have on the embassies. But that also doesn't mean that they are cut off. In fact, visa processing ideally should have been an issue with the immigration. But once the embassies have been handling it and so forth and so on. But of course, I think that with the new policy, the immigration service just need to step up their game, because what the embassies have been doing first, that is ensuring that they do a thorough background check on the people who they are granting visas to, will now have been taken up by the immigration service. So in as much as you are virtually shifting those things to the immigration, they have to be empowered to do it. For the embassies, yes, they will continue to represent Ghana. They will continue to do the routine work that they do. They will continue to project the image of Ghana. But in terms of who visits Ghana, they may not be aware of who is on a particular flight heading to Ghana. So they are cut off from that that routine that they normally perform.
All right, Benny, thanks to you, Dr. Ishmael Hlovo, international relations expert, sharing some views on the visa-free status that Ghana has attained. Meanwhile, some Ghanaians have welcomed the move to make Ghana a visa-free destination for African citizens. We can listen to some of them who've been sharing their views.
I think it's a good thing. In fact, this is long overdue. We should have had this many years back. Africa would have developed now. It's very good, and if people of other countries are coming to Africa without visas and all that, it means trade is going to improve so much. And I think that is a very good thing that the government has done, and I welcome it.
At the end of the day, it's a Ghana thing, you understand? So, I mean, the country at large will benefit.
For me, I think it's fine, because if you're in Africa and want to travel to Ghana, I don't think you should be going a lot of processes. When traveling to Ghana and it's visa free, it will help a lot of people to come to Ghana to see what we have here. So if it's visa free, when the person arrives, we will go to the embassy and maybe they will give him maybe 3 months or 4 months, and I think it will help. We have tourism here, so people will be happy to enter this country. Like Nigerians, they are happy now because it's visa free.
Yeah. It's very sensible, but we should implement necessary measures that will let the appropriate people to enter the country, because we don't want any situation where there will be an effect of incurring other people into the country so that they will come and give us negative implements.
Well, the views of some Ghanaians there. Well, this is the midday news here on Joy 99.7 FM. Our top story: Vice Chancellors Ghana demand urgent dialogue to address what it says is the looming disruption to tertiary education calendar following delays in the release of the 2024 WASI results. Still to come.
If you're ready for a good party, let me hear you.
And that's the Joy FM family party in the park at the Abreu Botanical Gardens. It's still on. We'll take you live there after this break.
This is my first time, but I was here last year. In fact, my kids were so excited, and that's what made it fun. And seeing new friends, like most of your classmates.
Only seeing the setup alone is wow, and it's a must for you to come.
Where did I? Now I don't know many I just saw.
Obiang, what's the chrome ha? And to want to say petrol software energizing dreams for motion. Hey boy.
Petrosol are celebrating their 10 years in grand style. They're giving back to their loyal customers. Hope you have registered at their online portal. Don't say I didn't tell you, oh.
Each month, customers will stand a chance of winning items like tricycles, motorcycles, television sets, refrigerators, phones, fuel vouchers, and many more. But the best part is that at the end of the promo, we will be giving out a grand prize of 2 Suzuki Espresso cars to lucky winners who stay with us all through the promo period. All you need to join is to visit any of our over 100 stations across the country to get registered, or go to www.petrosolcrm.com to register online.
Petrosol, energizing dreams.
You're welcome back. As Ghanaian farmers continue to grapple with the harsh realities of climate change, the game-changing innovation is providing them hope for a brighter future. Organic Fertilizer Aid, or OFA, is transforming the agricultural landscape, boosting soil fertility, controlling pests and diseases, and improving crop yields, all while being affordable and environmentally friendly. Well, today we travel to farming communities in Ashanti and northern Ghana to see how this solution is making a difference. Joy News' Mohammed Nuruddin has more.
In a country where agriculture is a lifeline for millions, Ghanaian farmers are facing a growing challenge: unpredictable weather patterns that threaten their livelihoods. But amidst this struggle, a game-changer solution has emerged: Organic Fertilizer Aid, popularly known as OFA. Across the region, farmers like Musa Zakari, Solomon Tete, and Amina in Kremokrom in the Konongo area have been facing similar struggles with unpredictable weather, pests, and diseases.
When I applied the offer, I saw remarkable changes in the crops. The offer effectively eliminated the diseases that were attacking the plants and significantly improved the fruiting. After using the offer, I was able to harvest 30 bags of pepper a day. The following year, when I applied it to my garden eggs, the fruiting increased as well. The best part was that when I used the offer on my pepper, there was no fruit abortion, which was a major issue in previous seasons.
Started to see a ball fan. A boy pa last year.
Since we started using the offer, it has made a significant difference compared to last year. Last year, when we cultivated, we faced a loss and only harvested 2 bags. However, after we began using the offer, our first harvest yielded 4 bags, and we are hopeful that our next harvest will produce bags. By the time we are finished with the harvest, I believe we will be able to count up to 150 bags in total. The offer has truly transformed our farming experience.
Chief Executive Officer of HGA Africa, Henry Abraham, highlights its broader impact.
The offer, as the Dean mentioned, is affordable. So it's effective, it's affordable, it's available, and of course, environmentally good as well. A green product, shall we say.
For Samuel Frimpong and many others, OFA represents not just a product, but a lifeline. It is a sustainable way to ensure that Ghana's farmers continue to thrive even in the face of changing weather patterns. A report by Mohammed Nuruddin.
Well, from there we move to the eastern region, and it's the Joy FM Family Party in the Park. Well, Kofi Hayford is right there for us, but he's been engaging some patrons at that event.
If you're ready for a good party, let me hear you say, yo, 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 yo.
Yeah, so this is Michael Lamte. We're with my family, and together with a colleague is Asian. Yeah. He's also here with us. This is my first time, but this is the second time. I was here last year. Yeah. It was a very awesome. Actually, he actually convinced me to come. I was like, well, he said, Charlie, you have to come and see it. And indeed.
What made it awesome? In fact, my kids were so excited, and that's what made it fun.
Kofi Hayford is joining us live from the Ebri Botanical Gardens. Kofi, how's it going?
It's going really, really well today. It's such an amazing day to be here at the Ebri Botanical Gardens, where we're having the Joy FM Family Party in the Park. I'm sure you've already heard some of the people talk about why they came. And look, already we have started jamming. So we had a dance session to begin with. That was our Kwaba dance. We have families joining us for the very big dance and, jamming. Now, what next is we've already started going through registration for the various competitions, racing, sack racing, lime and spoon, and then the cooking competitions. Trust me, we have over 30 families who want to be part of the cooking competition. So it's really going well. People are already having their lunch, and others are having their drinks, and what have you. So it's such a great day to be here at the Ebri Botanical Gardens. As you can hear, the place is really lit up, and we're jamming here.
You've kept me in the office. I want an update on the High Life Corner. We still want to call it the Daddy's Corner. How's that corner going?
A lot of people were actually asking me even before we started where Winston is, because I hear he's the leader of the highlight corner, the daddy's corner. And just a while ago, one father called me and asked me, Charlie, where is the daddy's corner? Because we are sweating and we want to drink some beer and what have you. I'm like, oh wow, no worries. So the highlight corner has already started. Kwame Dazi has been leading that so far, and we're looking forward to having a lot of fun with that as well. You know, Kwampa is coming, and they are already here, and definitely they are going to lead us with the palm wine music and some great highlight performances right here.
All right, Kofi, do enjoy yourself. I'll be joining you a bit later, and that's Kofi Hayford, my colleague there, updating us on how the Joy FM family party in the park, that's the biggest Christmas party you can have anywhere in Ghana. That's how we end the news at midday. I'm Fred Smith. There's more news at myjoyonline.com.